You can instantly improve your D&D campaigns right now by implementing this one tip. Many great DMs like Matt Mercer, Brennan Lee Mulligan, and Abria Iyengar do this with their campaigns. I've heard it described many different ways, but at its core, you gotta build around awesome. Fantasy author Brandon Sanderson, I think, put it best in one of his writing lectures.
You would think that payoff is the most important. And in one element it is. Payoff is most important sometimes because it is the feeling you leave the reader with when they put your book down at the end. However, getting them to that end is more important. The host of writers who have fantastic progress sections and weak endings, who are still very famous and popular authors, should prove to you that this is the most important of them. Because progress in the middle is the hardest of them. And it's where some of the great writers excel.
Obviously, Brandon writes fantasy novels while you're running a TTRPG campaign, but we can take those same principles and apply them. What I really want you to take away from Brandon Sanderson here is that while yes, endings are important, it's actually getting your players to that ending that is fundamentally the most important thing in your campaign. A lot of new game masters hold on to their great ideas for their endings. All your biggest reveals, best magic items, or most interesting boss fights happen at the very end. But what Brandon Sanderson is trying to describe here is it's the middle of your story that will make or break it. So trying to nail that ending is far less important than firing off all your best ideas and making each session as interesting and cool as you possibly can. So how do game masters implement this advice when running TTRPGs? Well, this is my method for building around awesome and making sure the middle of your campaigns are just as epic as the endings of your campaigns. When brainstorming your next campaign or thinking about your current one, come up with as many amazing moments as you can. My personal test is when I get giddy thinking about if something were to happen. This can be anything from fighting a dragon at the edge of a black hole, revealing a lovable NPC is actually a lich, or the party learning a piece of ancient lore about your world that will change the way they see everything. Once you have your list, pick the best 1 or 2 ideas and start to work a campaign around those moments. It is vitally important to understand that these moments may never happen. D&D is a collaborative storytelling game, and your players will take the story in places you did not expect. However, this doesn't reduce the value of building around awesome moments. For one thing, if everything does work out how you expected, then your party gets a hugely satisfying payoff. Over my time running games, some of the most memorable moments in any of my campaigns have come from ideas that I had and built around. The party fighting a dragon at the edge of a black hole? Yeah, that happened. It was fucking awesome. And even if the moment doesn't occur, if you build around awesome, you'll have a compass for your campaign. When you're constructing encounters or NPCs, they'll have this internal consistency, because you're keeping in mind a few events you're wanting to happen in the future. If you're not sure what to do next, you can always nudge the campaign towards one of those moments, foreshadow them, or add in a new layer of depth. Having a few awesome ideas that you're building around is a massive advantage for a DM. And I already hear what people in the comments are saying. This sounds like railroading. Don't try and plan your campaigns at all, just build situations and let your party go. And to this I say 2 things. 1, it's not railroading, you're just preparing. You're not forcing any of these moments to happen. You're trying to angle the general world so that they do happen, but at the end of the day, it's player choice. And for not planning things at all, well, DMs are players too. One of the things that holds back new DMs is not having fun while preparing for the game. And when you think about it, that's terrible because the dungeon master preparing for the game is basically another aspect of them playing the game. I think if you're not finding joy in the preparation, then something is definitely wrong. And one of the ways we find joy in preparation is planning for these big set piece moments. Usually, if you want to run a campaign, it's because you have a core idea that you're building around. This awesome moment or scenario that you've constructed inside your head. When that moment happens in game, it's like Christmas morning. It is a present to reward you for being a good little DM for all those months, for all those hours of prep, all those last minute cancellations and narrative hiccups. You get to have your one moment. Enjoy it. You've worked hard to make a game that's gotten this far. Building around awesome is important so you can have something to look forward to. Again, I'm not advocating railroading players or the party to go down one particular avenue, but in my experience, it's a lot of fun to be building around those awesome moments. It makes prepping a lot easier, a lot more fun, and when one of those moments hits, it feels awesome, not only for the players, but for you as a game master. Also, don't wait and hold on to all those awesome ideas until the end of the story. Based on statistics, most D&D campaigns don't last more than 10 sessions on average. Life happens and campaigns die all the time. Don't save all your incredible moments for the end of the campaign just to have them die on the vine. Sprinkle those awesome moments throughout your campaign, and then think up new awesome moments to build around. Because guess what? That's how professional game designers do it. Pre-written D&D campaigns like Tomb of Annihilation and Waterdeep Dragon Heist are literally built around a few awesome moments. Really, I could argue that every pre-written D&D adventure is built around 2 or 3 awesome moments that the designers got inside their brain and said, oh yes, this is going to be a campaign. So make sure you sprinkle that awesome out throughout your campaign. And to help you do that, check out this video right here. Sometimes DMs have to do this to make their sessions as high quality as they can. And thank you for entering the dungeon.